No.
Hello,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can
Hi.
hear you.
Okay. Nice to see you. Hi, Rakesh.
Do I? Oh, okay.
Hi, he's joined us. I'll just quickly make you the host. Someone join us.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Rupa from President of Rotary Bangalore Platinum City.
Hi, Rupa.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Good evening, Rupa. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. We can say hi. I think we have 15 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
From Rajnagar, Bangalore.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, Dr. Ravi Shankar is online.
Good evening, Parvati from Northwest.
Good evening, Dr. Ravi Shankar.
Good evening.
Good evening. This is Rotarian Shankar from Rotary Rajmal Vilas.
Good evening, Shankar.
Hi.
I think Rakesh also joined.
He's joined us, yes.
Yeah.
Just that
good.
he's muted himself.
Yeah. And apart from
I
that,
think
I think
it's-
what is the time? He's in US. No, it must be morning now.
Yes, I think he is in the East Coast. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It's
he's
early.
okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, Dr. Divakar. He's the chairman of our club.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Ravi Kumar.
Good evening, Sampath.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
All
Yeah,
set,
good evening.
all packed.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Good evening, Divakar, sir. Wonderful to have
Good
you.
evening. Okay.
Good evening, Ravi, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Tejaswini.
Good evening.
I
Namaste
think,
to
Good
everyone.
evening, Ravi Kumar, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, I can see that. You are not able to see me. I am able to see you.
Okay. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
Rakesh. Yeah, Rakesh. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Very good morning. Greetings to all across the world.
So nice to see you all.
East to West, India is the best.
Absolutely.
Rakesh sir, good evening.
Oh, Sundar sir. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well, sir. How are you? You gotta tell me
I'm fine.
what's news.
Yeah. Just thought I could finish my meeting little early. I thought let me say at least hello to you people.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Happy to have you,
Very good.
Rotarian Sundar, our president, Rotary
Nice
Bangalore
going-
Yelahanka.
Thank you, Kumte. Nice to see you here.
Nice to meet you too, sir. Long time.
Pleasure is always mine. Thank you.
Happy evening, guys.
Hi.
Good evening,
Namaskar,
everybody.
Amitabh Bachchan.
Hi,
Warm
Maria.
welcome
Amitabh Bachchan.
from
Namaskar,
Indonesia,
Amitabh
from
Bachchan.
District 3420. I'm glad
Oh.
I can join.
Very happy.
Welcome aboard, Rotarian Maria Penida.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank
Good evening,
you.
Tejaswini.
Evening. President Vani Shri. Welcome.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
President Renuka, welcome aboard.
Tejaswini madam, namaskara. Good evening. Sundresh, downtown. Ex-downtown.
Ex-downtown. And current president, I presume. Most welcome.
Yes, current president. I was supposed to be co-president with you last year, but ಈ ವರ್ಷ ತಗೊಂಡೆ ನಾನು.
ಬೆಟರ್ ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನೋಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯ್ತು ನೀವು ನೋಡಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್.
Thank you, Sundaresh.
Dr.
Good evening,
Ravishankar.
everybody. This is Prashant, and we have Rotarian Maria from Indonesia. Anybody else from different country outside India?
Yeah, I think our chief guest is there.
I see Dr. PDG Ganesh right on there from Wales. Welcome to sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Rotarian Sandali
Thank you.
from Sri Lanka. Sandali Geetma, who has joined us.
Sri
And
Lanka, yes.
I hope
Hello.
I can see some more people across. Let us hope so.
I also saw our chief guest joining. I think you can just.
PDG Shehzad Ahmad is
Rotarian
already
Ahmad, you are
joined.
on the line. You can say hello.
He's
You can
joined.
on the video. Yeah.
I was just not able to find Dr. Ravishankar. Could you?
I'm here very much.
Yeah, he is there. He is there. Yellow T-shirt.
Okay.
He is from his mobile phone. Not his name is not there.
Oh, okay.
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi. He is Dr. Ravi Shankar.
So is that your phone number or what it is? 22111317.
COME code number.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 co-presidents.
Good evening, PDG, Shares Ahmed.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good that you joined a little early.
Thank you, and good to see all of you, at least virtually.
Is it SS at 87, sir? Ravi Kumar, Dr. Ravi Kumar's display name?
No, Dr. Ravishankar's number is ending with
Sorry,
171.
Ravi Shankar. Okay.
Yeah, 171.
I see.
Okay, got it. I just wanted
I will log in with I was having a little problem with my phone. I'll log in with another phone of mine just now.
Got it. Sure, sure.
Good evening, PDG session.
Good evening. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm fine. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you for joining me on my invitation. Joining us on my invitation.
Our pleasure.
So Rotarian Maria, what time is that in Indonesia now? What time it is? You're on mute.
You are still, please
You're
unmute
speaking
yourself.
on mute. Rotarian Maria, you're speaking on mute.
Yes, I think it's 8 o'clock there, 8 p.m.
It is to speak on mute.
Yeah.
Hi, Prashant.
Hello, hello. Hello, PDG, Shesha sir.
Hello.
Recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
Hello. Hello there. No.
Sir, please check if you have both the phones connected to the bridge. That's why the echo comes. You may want to log out on the other phone.
If you could also put your name as the display name. We have 3 minutes to start the webinar. We'll start at 6:30 sharp, Dr. Ravitna.
Okay. I think Carl has joined. Good evening. Here to
Hi,
evening.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening, Roy.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening, Dr. Ravi sir.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone. This is Shankar here, Rotarian Shankar. I'm the Rotary Action Group Chair for 3192. Very happy to see all of you here. Looking forward to a great evening.
Good evening. It's your program.
Good evening, Rotarian Shankar.
Hi, Shankar.
Tell Akkama to come. We will remove it.
Shankar, you intentionally put it off or you are in the car? It's quite dark.
I'm still in the car, yes. I should be reaching home in a few minutes, yes.
No problem.
It will be starting in a minute. Can everyone hear me loud and clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
loud.
Perfect, thank you. Rakesh, can you switch on your video if it's okay?
Mine is on.
Yes, it's
You
on. I
have
have
to
to
on
pin
yours.
you. Yeah, I have to pin you. I've just pinned. Okay. So let's start.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
All right. Then. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to start the Rotary Action Group's webinar series 2, focusing on blindness prevention for today. In this series, we aim to introduce you to different Rotary Action Groups every 2 weeks or monthly, so you can explore and find the group that matches your interests. So let's get started. Tejasini, a wonderful anchor, over to you.
Good evening, good morning, greetings and namaste to all who are present here. A warm welcome to you on behalf of Rotary Action Groups. And we have been conducting this webinar series on various chapters of Rotary Action Group. Just to give you a brief on what Rotary Action Group is all about. Rotary Action Groups are independent, Rotary affiliated. They are independent of the RAG as well as the clubs and the districts. They offer technical expertise and support to help clubs plan and implement projects to increase their impact, not just within the strategic priorities of Rotary, but across the globe. This is where the special added advantage of action groups comes across. One need not be a Rotarian to be part of this action group. Anyone with a good interest and expertise on any one of the 7 avenues of service can join and be the partners. They can be the other kind of expertise funding and resource people. Action groups can also help clubs and grant applications, conduct community assessments, and develop plans to monitor and evaluate their projects. Today, we are here to have a webinar on Rotary Action Group for blindness prevention. I'd like to share a small video clip here before we go ahead. Is it seen by any chance? No, not
No.
yet. Now can you view it?
Yes. Yes, we can see.
Yes, yes, yes. Visible.
Dear Rotarians and fellow audience who have joined here this morning, I saw this clip. I felt I should share this. Here is the impact that a vision can make for a person. And if we can make a small contribution or some kind of impact in anybody's life to this kind of cause, I think is what we are here for. So over to Gomati. She will introduce our speakers and we'll carry on with the webinar. Thank you.
Rotarian Tejaswini. Thank you for sharing a wonderful video. And this is the main reason why we would want to introduce everybody present here today to the Rotary Action Groups. Because these groups are not just groups, but they are powerful movements working on important issues that affect our lives. Because their dedication has led to significant progress in solving various challenges. I think this is the point that we're trying to make and encourage everybody to come and join the group that matches your interests. So before we could start the presentation, I would also like to welcome PDG Carl, who's the president of RAGS Global, and also PDG Sunny. We'll proceed with the presentation. I'm very happy to introduce our first speaker for today, Rotarian Dr. M.B. Ravikumar. Rotarian Dr. M.B. Ravikumar, a versatile leader, holds degrees in electronics and communications engineering, an MBA, a postgraduate diploma in software engineering, and a PhD in management studies. He is a Rotarian since 1988. He has dedicated over 22 years to impactful projects in education and eye care, leading 35,000 cataract surgeries and 150 eye surgeries and providing 10,000 spectacles for children in need. Recognized with prestigious awards, including the Sir M. Visvesvaraya Memorial Award, Dr. Ravi Kumar co-founded the Rotary Avoidable Blindness Foundation in 2020, actively supporting eye care projects across India. As the founder of Kaveri Trust, he has championed the education of underprivileged girls for 30 years. Dr. Ravi Kumar's commitment to self-service and family makes him an inspiring Rotarian, and I'm very eager to know your plans for the RAG4BP India, sir. Over to you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for this brief, crisp introduction. And it's nice to see so many Rotarians who are interested in this action group for prevention of blindness. So let me start with some actions, what our group has been doing. So I would request Gomati to show the photographs that I shared, like Tejaswi showed a few babies. Here it ranges from children to adults to many people whom Rotary Action Group has been helping. So as she shares the PPT, see what I thought, I will just touch upon the 4 cases which over the last couple of years we have been helping in the action group and tell you how we have been making this group vibrant, active, and involving as many Rotary clubs as possible in this activity, particular activity, because there are several areas in disease prevention and treatment, but this particular area has attracted a lot of interest in our districts 3191 and yeah, next one, please. Next one. Here is a case of a little girl who just 8 years now, maybe 9 years. At the age of 4, she was diagnosed with brain tumor, medulloblastoma as they call it, and a lot of money was spent by her parents as well as the employer of her father. They were totally out of money, and suddenly I got a call from one of the fellow Rotarians from my home club at that time, Koramangala, that there is a small girl who is blind in both the eyes. She underwent surgery for cancer and she wants help because they don't have money. So I spoke to a couple of doctors in Bangalore with whom we are working, and they said, please send across a child. We will do our best. But only thing they said is the oncologist should give confirmation that she can undergo this surgery. So I could get the clearance from the oncologist. She had developed cataract in both the eyes. So she has to be operated for both the eyes. As some of you may know, for children like this below 12 years, it is done under general anesthesia, and you have to use a very good imported lens because they have a longer duration of life. It's not like people who get cataract done at the age of 70 or 80. All this could happen because of Action Group, because of Rotary, and we had this Awardable Blindness Foundation. I could raise some funds, and that's how this kid, even now recently one of the camps, the father was thanking me. And so this is one of the actions which I think our group has been doing. And similarly, now a couple of more cases I will just upon. Next one, please. This is a contrasting case. Here, there you saw an 8-year-old girl. This is a 65-year-old gentleman. He retired as a teacher, a typical teacher who retired with a little sum of money. And he has to take care of his old mother. Because of the cost of living is high, from Bangalore, he shifted to Madhu. Suddenly, he could not see. So he didn't know what to do. He spent all the money. Just his mother died recently. So typically, you know, in Indian custom, they spend a lot of money on this practices which are there. And he was not having money. And he was not able to see. It so happened in one of the WhatsApp group, he sent this message hesitatingly to his friend, saying that this is a problem and I spent all my money. And incidentally, that friend of his was a Rotarian from our district. I was having my lunch and I got a call saying that this is a case. Gautam is a good friend of mine. He doesn't have money. What to do? I said, give me 1 hour. I spoke again to one of the hospitals where you can see where he's being operated, Dr. Praveen of Vitala International Institute. They said, okay, we will do for you. It so happened, same day I got a call from another young man who is working in a pharma company. Sir, today is my birthday. They tell you are helping people. I want to help when I said that. So this is the magic of Rotary. I have not gone out of the way to request money, but I got money to help this gentleman who had a complex retina problem, which otherwise would have costed him nothing like 60,000 rupees. In Rotary, we got it done for 20,000 rupees. 15,000 was donated by a young man who doesn't know Gautam. He doesn't know me. Through somebody else, he was told one Ravi Kumar is helping like this. I get a call. So this is the second case where action can be taken where our money is not involved. Our network is involved in Rotary. The third one is another interesting case. Next one. Yeah. So you can see Dr. Venkat, I will come to him later. It was on a Rotary's 116th anniversary on a February, we had one public screening camp. You won't believe 116th anniversary, 116 people were screened, free of cost on a roadside. Dr. Venkat is seen, Usha is seen, they're all part of Rotary Awardable Blindness team. And there is a case of a poor boy who hails from West Bengal, and he's a water boy in a nearby restaurant there called Nagarjuna Restaurant. So immediately Usha contacted, took his number, followed up with him, made him to come to Dr. Venkat's hospital, and he was diagnosed with high myopia with cylindrical issues and a few holes in the retina. So his problem was solved by giving suitable contact lenses, and he's so thrilled. Couple of times he rang up Usha and Venkat, which otherwise would have costed him not less than 25,000-30,000, and he wouldn't have known about contact lens, a poor fellow. So this is another action where we do a public screening, out of which we find a poor fellow who requires treatment, and our doctor and our Rotarian go out of the way to ensure that he gets a treatment. So this is a third case, and very recently another fourth case I will just touch upon. Another kid, you can see a beautiful temple. This kid, just before coming to the hospital, he was there praying in the temple. This kid, in a recent screening camp in August, he came with a mother who was crying. His father died in COVID. She was a housemaid. This kid is a very brilliant kid, I was told, referred by one more Rotarian here, who has been also an excellent Rotarian. He was introduced with arthritis problem, which they thought because of his he has got loss of right eye. So I showed him fingers, he couldn't read and things like that. He had a swollen leg. So I told him to go and meet again one pediatric specialist or ophthalmologist in Vittal Hospital. He went there, he had similar problem, early cataract. But because he had a swollen leg, he has to be referred to a cardiologist. All that we got it done. Finally, he was operated and he's totally now normal and is going to school back again. So this is a case of again early cataract, some other symptoms. So still the problem was solved. Now you can see how the actions are taking place. And we know very well certain actions, whatever we do in our life, they give us satisfaction. And serving these needy people at times definitely can be one of the satisfaction, which we have been deriving for a long time in our action groups. So Rotary as a platform, international platform, like you can see today, there are a few people who have come across from different parts of the world. It provides us an opportunity in general and RAGS in particular, I would say. So this is one of the reasons I would say people who really want to do service, if they're part of action group, you allocate certain time, then it's possible very much to get into the thick of the action. And the next one, please. So what are the general activities? Like whenever we couldn't do camps during COVID time, we organized awareness lectures on various issues like glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, dry eyes for clubs coming together. Our doctors were very helpful in explaining as well as answering questions. Then signature events like this, we normally celebrate. Either it's a National Eye Donation Fortnight, which happens during August 26th to September 8th, or World Sight Day like today, or World Optometrist Day, because all are important. So this create awareness and bring in people to us. Supporting clubs which are interested in implementing blindness prevention project. We guide them, we help them, both in terms of technical knowledge as well as sometimes resources. And sometimes we also now, I'll be shortly telling you, we help in putting together a global grant which Rotary Foundation supports, or putting together some CSR support for some of the projects which are really requiring resources. So these are some of the activities which I think many of you may know, but this strengthens the not only the service activities, strengthen the fellowship amongst the Rotarians, and also some of the Rotarians are attracted, members are attracted towards these activities. Next one, please. Just to give you an idea of what we are doing, we are now trying to help a couple of global grants. Recently, we completed a global grant for establishing 8 diabetic retinopathy centers, because doing cataract has become very normal nowadays. So we have gone out and helped to establish 8 diabetic retinopathy centers and screen free of cost people with diabetes. Similarly, to extend that, we are onto 2 more projects. One is a global grant, which is promoted by Rotary Club of Bangalore in 3192. This is a project to establish 6 tele-ophthalmology screening centers in rural Karnataka in different places with the support of the club in England and a district in USA. Another project which Dr. Venkat is our partner in establishing diabetic retinopathy centers. He is planning now to take this treatment part to the various centers. Like we are planning to donate laser equipment to treat this diabetic retinopathy and provide also subsidy through this project. This is another global grant project with philanthropic people from US and India through a club. We are now launching this project. So this is just to give an example. We are also helping clubs to do global grant project. The size will be anywhere between $40,000 to $50,000. Not very big, but it helps the community. And recently we have just been talked with the 9 Dots Foundation, another RAG coordinator, Rotarian Shankar. He will be the one who will be spearheading this activity with this new trust that he has formed with past presidents of Changemaker president of 21-22. And I think I will request Shankar to just throw some light on this particular project if he is on the line and if he has got the time. Shankar, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. BBMP has screened around 4,500 students, who are in need of spectacles. And I have approached Dr. Ravi Kumar, and he's been very kind enough to say that we will start with 500 spectacles. But we also encountered another problem is that BBMP, while they have identified people who have vision issues, they have not been able to screen as far as the refraction testing is concerned. So we need some support from all the Rotary clubs. I request all your support in ensuring that we can screen the identified children who have vision issues with the refraction testing, and also the Rotary clubs to come forward and support the project so that we can complete all the 4,500 children can be able to see and study well and improve their education capabilities because they are able to see the board clearly. You can get in touch with Dr. Ravi Kumar, or you can get in touch with me if you are interested in this particular project. It's a very simple project. We just need to take a couple of BBMP schools which are near your Rotary Club and see that the screening is done. The prescriptions are given and they're tabulated in a very neat way, and they are sent across to either Dr. Ravi Kumar or to me. We will collate it. And the second part is that if you can also see that you can provide some spectacles, that will also help us, because the whole project will cost us something like 16 lakhs. And right now we have provision for around 500 spectacles with the support of the Rotary Action Group for Avoidable Blindness. Thank you, Dr. Kumar. Over to you.
Yeah. So this is the way we work with other sometimes RAG groups or sometimes clubs, sometimes corporates. And what does it take you to get into RAGS is the next slide. I will just touch upon that. You can enroll as a volunteer. You can get a doctor friend who is ready to help, or get an expert or an optometrist who is ready to volunteer his time or her time. And of course, our chairman will talk about the other details when he is giving the chief guest address. You have to allocate certain time every month to do voluntary work for preventing blindness. They actively participate, like Shankar was mentioning, in simple projects like school screening. When you volunteer, get to know about their problems, you help them. Sometimes you can extend some other type of help. Then you can organize outreach screening camps. You can seek support if you know somebody in the corporate. So all these are required for the group to function well. So it's not a small group. It should be used as many as groups as possible. Nothing to do with only Rotary. It is to help the community. That's what it is. And finally, I will request Gomati to show one poster which will be of interest on a World Sight Day. And this poster is to say that we will be sending Dr. Venkat to Ghana. We are not stopping just with doing some work in India. Our Dr. Venkat, who is there, now joined us. He will be going to Ghana to do 300 cataract surgeries in Ghana because they don't have ophthalmologists there. There are poor people there also. And this is supported by several clubs in 3191 and 3192, apart from our district governor nominee of 3192, Rotarian Elizabeth Paramesh. So the clubs which are supported are his own home club, Platinum City, Rotary Club of Platinum City, Rotary Club of Rajmahal Vilas Extension, Rotary Club of Yelahanka, Rotary Club of Udyog, Rotary Club of Vidyaranapura, and the club where right now I am there, Rotary Club of Bangalore 2020, a satellite club to Rotary Club of Bangalore. And also a couple of clubs from 3191, that is Rotary Club of Kavan Park, and my former Rotary home club of Rotary Bangalore, Koramangala. So this is the action what we are talking about. It is not just doing some work only in our district. It is a work wherever the demand is there in global level. Our doctors going to Africa or somebody else coming here to help us. So this is what it is. It's very, very exciting and interesting only when you jump into this activity. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much for listening.
Preparing pages.
Sorry if I have a little overshot my time.
No, it's fine. You're on mute.
Well, not at all, sir. It was very informative. Thank you very much.
Tejaswini, please unmute
And
yourself.
yeah. So before Tejaswini just starts, I'd just like to also make a small announcement of a discussion I had with Dr. Ravi. In fact, some of you who know Dr. Ravi would really recognize him as an epitome of self-sacrifice and personal sacrifices, whichever word is appropriate for who he is. Thank you very much, sir. And another thing that I would like to also say is about the partnership that we are going to stitch together, both RAGS and RAG for blindness prevention. So Dr. Ravi came out with a brilliant idea saying that some of the adults who are, and even children for that matter, who fall into this, I would say, who are victims of blindness or who are into blindness now, what needs to be done for them if they need to be independent? And he said that, why don't you guys as RAGSID come forward and create a program that would really rehabilitate these people and make them independent, make them self-dependent, and give them confidence so that they come reappear in society as bold individuals. And doctor, let me say that there is a lot of work happening on that in the back end. We'll be presenting something very soon. And at the same time, we also happen to come across another organization called as World Vision. So sorry, Vision Spring, who have offered, they also offered their help and support in what we are doing. They were very appreciative of what, when I kind of told them about you, they were very appreciative of the work that you've been doing. And they also would like to partner with us in what we're doing. And they have, right now they're running a project and they have given us some, I think 1,000 spectacles that they would like to have us use, if not 1,000, 10,000 spectacles if we would like to use to some of our people here. So let me know about it, sir. Thank you very much. Over to Tejaswini.
I'd like to present the RAGS, that is the Rotary Action Group's chapters that are there from 3190. Now that our district has split, we will be sharing you the consolidated list. Are you able to view these?
Yes.
These are the current action groups that are available from 3191 and 3192. Those who are interested can get in touch with us in whichever discipline you would like to contribute or be part of. You can inform us and we will connect you to the action group chapters. Over to you, Gomti. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll be introducing our second speaker for today, Rotarian Dr. K.V. Ravishankar. As the medical director of Usha Kiran Eye Hospital in Mysore and chairman at Usha Kiran Charitable Trust, he specializes in retina and vitreous diseases and pediatric eye surgeries. In the field since 1990, Dr. Ravishankar's commitment goes beyond borders. A Rotarian since 1998, he has served as an honorary Cardis advisor to the Rotary Foundation and has made over 20 volunteer visits to Africa, Bangladesh, and beyond. In his 27 years, Dr. Ravishankar has performed 50,000 surgeries with 20% dedicated to charity only. So let's welcome Dr. K.V. Ravishankar. Over to you, sir.
You can play the PowerPoint. Thank you very much for this opportunity to address this August gathering. I'm so happy on the World Sight Day. We have more than about 60 people from all around the world for this lovely meeting. So it's very heartening. And, my address is about how eye surgeons and eye hospitals can work with Rotary. Well, it can be other way around as well. How the Rotarians and Rotary clubs can work with eye hospitals. It's a both way I would take it, because I think the number of eye surgeons in this meeting possibly is limited. I'm seeing Dr. Divakar, Dr. Venkat. Is there any other eye surgeons in the meeting?
Kindly unmute yourself and voice.
Pardon, are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Doctor, there's nobody else. I think only 3 of you.
Okay, fine. So I would, while going through, I would put it, how the eyes, it may not be, but for all the other audience, I'll combine it. How the eyes, because getting eye surgeons to do the work for the community is far tougher for the Rotary clubs. So from that perspective, whatever my preparations are, I will, slightly vary as I go on talking. Let's go to the next slide. So one need not be, from all of you are Rotarians here, so I don't have to spell it out, that Rotary is essentially a service organization where the bedrock of that service finally starts at the club level with a good fellowship amongst the members. But we go beyond that. So to serve the people, we need to have good friendship. So that is a basic tenet in Rotary. So always the Rotary is in Rotary. As we all know, Rotary Club is the real unit, which is in the field, doing the work in the field. So always the Rotary clubs are looking for ways and means of doing some kind of community work in different avenues within the domain of community service. Next one. So, in the past, maybe about 20 years ago, 30, in that time frame, possibly between 1990 to 2000, possibly the Lions International and Lions organizations were very active in pursuing this as a cause, tackling the avoidable blindness. But of late, we see that they have taken a back seat, and for very many reasons, the Rotary International has not picked up the avoidable blindness as one of its core areas. For the reasons best known to the Rotary International and several past district governors of this in this meeting, so they would very well know that there are multiple issues that come into the picture when you have to choose that kind of a very big goal, because the problem is very big as far as the whole world is concerned. So to tackle it as an organization, if the Rotary takes it up, as an organization, the commitment that is to be given to that may be very, very a tall order. That possibly is the reason why Rotary International as an organization, as an international NGO has not chosen this particular subject as their core area yet. Maybe the time may come in the years to come. So now my address is, okay, fine, the Rotary International per se might not have chosen, but Rotary Foundation, from time and again, from ever since that we are seeing it. I'm in Rotary for now about close to 27 years. So it is giving plenty of grants in every field, and the blindness prevention and treatment of blindness is no exception, where hundreds, if not thousands of grants have been given all around the world, more so focused in the areas where this is a huge problem, maybe in India, Asia, Africa. It's a huge problem. So when it's a huge problem, and even the government intervention is not enough, only the Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation coming with big funding is not enough. What we can do at the ground level, in association with those organizations, is how one can go about at the club level or at the district level and beyond. So from ophthalmologist point of view, one need not be a Rotarian to be working with Rotary clubs. One can be an ophthalmologist, one can be a Rotarian though, but we need, our objectives have to align if we have to work together. You see, there are very many ophthalmologists, there are very many organizations, some for profit, some not for profit. It doesn't really make a difference. Even the organizations for profit also have a wing where they will be doing some percentage of their work for charity. So likewise, even solo ophthalmologists, how much ever their practice is and how much ever small or big their city in which they are working, certainly as a fraction of their work, they will be doing it as subsidized or at cost, or if the cost is picked up by somebody, the lowest cost is picked up by somebody, they will be doing it as a pure free service even. So this is where actually the Rotary comes into the picture. The Rotary or any service organization is not interested if for the patients who have the full capacity to pay, they pay for their services and they get it done. The matter is over. For those patients, those people in the bottom of the pyramid is where the Rotary is interested to address. And if ophthalmologists are interested to address those issues, then there is alignment of the our strategy, our alignment of our goals. Then only one can get together. So let's go to, the limitations I was saying. Limitation is in the Rotary, it's an advantage as well as a disadvantage. Rotary as a unit, maybe at every level, Rotary, the leaders change every year. But ophthalmologists or the organizations, they are working there for a long length of period. That is as far as reasonably constant. As far as the clubs are concerned, it's much easier for the clubs to identify in their given city who amongst the number of eye doctors that are there, there may be a few. I'm sure there are more than 10 or 15% of the eye surgeons or even more, or more than willing to work with the Rotary clubs and in a way that benefits. And I will, in a simple manner, I will share my own journey in Rotary, how I can claim myself to be a very well-trained Rotarian, very well-trained eye surgeon, having worked in really premier organizations and trained by mavericks, I could say, like Dr. Badrinath at Shankar Netralaya, Chennai. And after that, but as a person, I can say I am an ophthalmologist with reasonable good skills. So that is all is required. What we need is an outlook or an attitude of working with others, other organizations, where a fraction of the community who cannot afford our services, we may be able to serve them. That lies the common goal. For ophthalmologists, the change of leadership is something, it takes a while for them to understand how the Rotary functions. So, if you have to take up major projects, really, a small projects at the club level, change of leadership doesn't matter at all. So if a president is interested, some project of small size can be implemented. But project of big size requires that a majority of members in the club want that project to go on, because some projects can run for a couple of years. Next one, please. Okay. So I was telling, how even if an eye surgeon is a Rotarian, how important his home club is. Yes, home club, everything starts at home. Once there is a good recognition of the service the eye surgeon is doing, and how he is flexible and open-minded to work with other organizations, and then things become much easier. And internationally, how the RAG for blindness prevention played a role. Before this name came up, this organization, it was called Fellowship for Eye Care Professionals. So I think it was before the year 2000 or 2002, it was named like that. And once, in one of the bulletins, I did happen to see a beautiful article written by one of Rotarians, late Rotarian Gabriel Minder from Geneva. And I got in touch with him electronically, and then we really became friends. He visited India several times. He was a friend of several of us here. I think he was a good friend of Dr. Ravi Kumar and Mr. Shahzad, PDG Shahzad as well, and very many other people. So he was taking leadership role, and he was getting so many clubs, so many districts, along, and then so many clubs and districts within India. And so we could do so many projects together. Those days, during the matching grant days, possibly till the year 2009 or 10, things were much easier, in a sense to, as long as the basic prerequisites were possible, and grants used to be given. But now with the global grants, things are much tougher. So more so, we need to work locally. And India also, I can say in the present day, there is plenty of money here. There is plenty of money in this country. We need to be proactive. We need to showcase our work. We need to work with Rotary. We need to, Rotary also. All the funds cannot come at the club level or a district level, and foundation also, when for the grants, there are a lot of rules and regulations. So once our work is strong, first fundamentally, for eye surgeons to be working with Rotary, fundamental thing is the work has to be very strong on the ground on a long-term basis, and willing to be, flexible, open-minded, and very transparent. Then very certainly things will be very positive. Next one, please. And help is there very much available for asking. We need to be proactive. We need, and if we can convince, but I'll just give you several examples, locally also, and then also international projects. There are several times eye care projects we have done between clubs within the district and across different districts within India, and across different clubs in different countries also, several times without even the foundation coming in between. And for an Indian project, we have done like that. And we have done it for international projects. Let me just share this example where in 2017 and 2019, we served in a tiny country in Western Africa called the Gambia. It is a country with about 2.2 million people. At that time, there was single ophthalmologist in the country. Now there are 2 ophthalmologists in the country. To go, our objective in those missions, I had been invited to that country twice before, and alone I had gone. And after working for about 8 to 9 working days, I could complete about 30 operations in each of those visits. All of those were complex operations on children, all the cases being done under general anesthesia. Lot of expenses were involved, and there was some help here and there available. In 2017 and 19, and then we were, myself, Dr. Ravi Kumar, and then Gabriel Minder, and then there is a Rotarian from Portugal, Dr. George, several of us, we were working together. We could mobilize the help that was required from so many clubs within India, so many clubs within Europe, few clubs from USA, and we listed the help of the Gambia clubs even. Logistical help it could be, it need not be financial help all the time. So the end result was, we could, in each of these last 2 visits, we could operate up to 40 or 41 children in each visit. It was so flexible, it was so happy note that we could do that many operations of the complex operations where there is the one is facility is not available, expertise is not available, material is not available. And to what was the thing that we were unhappy about was when we had to leave the country after about 10 days, there were more than double the number of children that we operated that were left. We had to leave them behind because of paucity of time. This was a fixed project that was going on. What I want to communicate is there is so much of problems out there that amongst the eye surgeons who think that there is a God-given skill amongst us, and by sharing that skill, maybe in 10% of occasions or 20% of occasions, it is doing so much good to the others. With this outlook, as long as we have gone, I have found it that the help within Rotary has been tremendous. Help outside the Rotary has also been tremendous. In my own Rotary journey, when I started out in 1997-98, in my home club of Rotary Mysore West, the first and foremost appeal I made was, we had to operate about 25 children in that year who had been requested by district administration to me to help the children out. So I made an appeal on the floor of the house, and Rotarians were generous enough to contribute the money. I was prepared to do all those surgeries gratis. But the cost involved had to be raised. General anesthesia costs and the professional fee, etc. of anesthetist had to be borne. But in no time, in one meeting, in 30 minutes, the whole funding that was required for 25 children's operations was raised. That was a real eye-opener. And when all the surgeries were done, and the Rotarians got to see what the eye care is about, and when they could feel that vibration, more and more things happened. As we went along, we had so many matching grants, so many global grants, and so many of these international visits. And next slide, please. Yeah. So this, and then later, after about being in 18 plus years in Mysore Rotary West, my home club now is Rotary E-Club of Bangalore, District 3191. I mean, to say the least, we meet so less often as being an E-Club. But still, I can proudly say there is not even a single project till date that we have made a proposal and the club has not supported. Every single project the club has supported, and I'm really proud of the club. And next one, please. And today I wish to share some interesting news that next one. Okay, interesting news that being a World Sight Day, Rotary Bangalore Abilities Club, they had called me few days ago saying they want to sponsor children's. They heard from somebody and they called me saying that they want to sponsor children's eye operations. I was really touched by them. Incidentally, it was without any planning. There were 2 charity children's eye surgeries this morning, but unfortunately I couldn't perform them because of personal reasons, and I had to postpone those operations. But what I want to say is Rotary Bangalore Abilities, with their own difficulties, deficiencies, to come forward to separate 2 children's eye operations is something very commendable, and I want to compliment them on this occasion. Next one. Any other slide? Hello? Yeah. Okay. I think Rotary Avoidable Blindness Foundation. This Dr. Ravi Kumar's brainchild started now 3 years ago. I think is doing commendable job from the last 2+ years. Though from last 2 years, I think is the more activity because before that there was COVID. I think a tremendous work, I should say. And Dr. Vikumar, always known for his, straightforward nature, humility, and simplicity. These are the qualities actually one needs to have to work with other organizations, other individuals, without any agenda. Help will always be available. This has been my experience, that help is always available. And I have here I would like to acknowledge this, and I would like to say that Rotarian Ganesh is there from Wales. He is very much from Mysore. He knows our work, that what we are doing in Mysore. I have lost the count of times that he has helped for our iCare projects. That has been the spirit with which he supports the iCare and other work within India, being in UK for possibly close to 70 years now. Next one. Okay. I just told you that while working with the club also knows that there are limitations in terms of finance. So the strength of the club is the members. So going for CSR with other organizations, and then going for major donors to support the projects, then you can utilize that money to route it through Rotary, to multiply it, to get the help from the Rotary Foundation. Now, of course, the global grants have become a bit tough and a bit more bureaucratic. This is something with the change of time, we have to accept all these changes. So the role of RAG is in the past. There was a provision when during the time when our past RA director, past RA president, Frank was there. There was a donor advice fund for every matching grant. They used to give $2,000. It used to be matched 100% by the Rotary Foundation. That's no longer there. Wish somebody gives some major corpus to the RAG4BP. Thank you. Next one, please. Okay. Okay, that is a small aspect. I'll take a minute or two. That a vocational training program. This is where one can contribute. Either we can receive the teams from outside the country, and they can stay here for a few weeks and enhance our local surgeons' skills. Our Indian surgeons are teaching the whole world now, especially in the field of ophthalmology. We're teaching the whole world. So it can, but teaching in a conference is a very different cup of tea. But practically mentoring somebody, teaching surgery, being with them, those kind of things, this vocational training team helps. And I was fortunate to be a part of a vocational training team, courtesy, the district from Mumbai and Rotarian Girish Mittal. And I was a part of a team which served under with Mercy Ships vocational training team in 2013. What came about was something more bonus, which I never expected. Is they invited me to speak in one of the breakout sessions of the Rotary Foundation in Lisbon Convention in 2013. So if next one, please. Okay. So one thing is So one thing from my surgeon's point of view, if we are ready to take up the challenges, there are plenty of issues that we can tackle with Rotary and other organizations together. And then it's like Dr. Ravi Kumar was saying, if you have the mind and the will, and if you are ready to give some amount, 10% of the time, then really you can enjoy those challenges. You can see, in the process, you can visit so many countries. You can, you can meet so many Rotarians. You can be in so many cultures. Imagine the Rotary and other platforms, other organizations have given me an opportunity to serve outside the country 22 times so far. Each of the time, our service has been pro bono. Nobody has received or given any honorarium. But once you enjoy that, I think the help is for asking. Even for this Ghana project, which I was supposed to be going and I had to pull out for personal reasons, help is coming in plenty from several quarters because they just love this concept. The individuals love, and Rotarians and individuals, they love the concept of helping somebody who is really helpless. That's where the real joy comes from. If somebody is ready to take up the challenge, it is open to all eye surgeons. Next one. Maybe the last one. Okay. I do serve as a technical advisor to the Rotary Foundation also. It's called career advisor. Any eye surgeon can become one. If you are ready to do that work pro bono and spend 3 or 4 times, 4 days of your time to go to various project sites, big projects. Normally they send you to big projects where possibly more than about $100,000 grants. In the past, we used to go for those 3H grants, large grants, and visit those sites sometimes before the project, sometimes during the project, sometimes after the project. This is very challenging, and it's a service to Rotary Foundation too. Next one. Okay. To sum it up, it's overall the journey has been very, very fulfilling and enjoying it still. So if you can enjoy it, it's a beautiful journey. And I can tell you that it gives you good sleep every single night. That is assured. Thank you very much indeed. I'm done.
Coming back to a bit of more on RAGS. Rotary action groups that are active. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Here are some areas, Rotary Action Group by areas of focus. Some of them are promoting peace. They have peace for refugees and slavery prevention. For fighting disease, we have addiction prevention, Alzheimer's and dementia, blindness prevention, which you are very much aware of today, blood tissue and organ donation, diabetes, health, family health, AIDS prevention, health education and wellness, hearing, hepatitis eradication, malaria, mental health initiatives, very active in Bangalore and 319 1 and 92. And multiple sclerosis, which is then started 2 years ago, has also taken a very active role in our districts. Providing clean water and sanitation, menstrual health and hygiene comes under that. Water and sanitation and hygiene is also another chapter. Under saving mothers and children, we have club food, reproductive, maternal and child health. Under supporting education, we have basic education and literacy. I'm sure all the clubs in India have been extremely active in this avenue. Growing local economies, we all can always reach out to community economic development, and we have the pioneers here in our group now, and we have the disaster assistance. And protecting the environment, we have endangered species, in which Rotary Club of Bangalore is actively involved. Environmental sustainability. Action groups can work in more than in one area of focus. Let me just tell you that how we can spread out is we can foster positive change, create impactful, sustainable projects within communities across the globe. RAGS can play a big role in the current war situation for peace and conflict resolution. I'm sure Rotarians and like-minded people can reach out in this matter. Over to Gomati again.
Thank you. Thank you, Rotarian Tejaswini. I'll proceed now with the third presentation. Third introduction. Right. Rotarian Shehzad Ahmad, a distinguished leader, holds a BS and MS in Industrial Engineering from Iowa State University, USA. Founder of ProMark, he serves as its director. A Rotarian since 1997, Shehzad became the DG of Rotary International District 3272, that is Pakistan and Afghanistan, for 2010-11. His accolades include Service Above Self Award, the highest Rotary honor, and recognition for regional and meritorious service from the Rotary Foundation. As the chair of the Blindness Prevention Rotary Action Group and director of Indus Peace Park Society, he actively contributes to global awareness and peace efforts. Shahzad is a beacon of Rotary ideals and with a commitment to community service spanning 5 continents. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Thank you for the kind introduction. Can you all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, good. I'm honored that I've been given this opportunity to make the presentation in front of this august gathering of my Rotary family, primarily from India, but also representing other countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, and USA. I noticed that when I saw the long list of lead clubs, so I saw the name of Bangalore and Bengaluru. And but I know that these are both name of the same city. So credit goes to all Rotary clubs in Bangalore and now Bengaluru for taking this initiative, which is much needed initiative at this stage. Before I start my presentation, I would like to acknowledge the excellent coordination and support provided by Rotarian Dr. M.V. Ravi Kumar. His timely reminders and notes were very helpful. I would also like to acknowledge the other event organizers, Rotarian Teja Suini, RAG coordinator for District 3191, Rotarian Gomathi, District 3192, RAG CD South Asia coordinator, and Rotarian Vachan Sunku, District Director International Services of District 3191. And of course, I'll also like to acknowledge the dynamic leadership of both district governors, District Governor Rotarian Uday Kumar Bhaskara of District 3191, and District Governor Rotarian Siri Nini Vasas Murthy of District 3192. I hope that I have pronounced the names correctly. So with this, I would like to go to my presentation, and if you can help me run it, please. Okay, great. So the topic is blindness prevention and the World Sight Day. And we are all blessed to have sight. And in fact, Rotarians are called people of action and also people of vision, because they just do not think only about themselves, but more about the benefits they can pass on to the others. Next slide gives a brief introduction of myself, but it has already been excellently covered. So I'll skip that slide, and we just pass on to the next one. And my friend, Dr. Ravi Shankar has already mentioned some of these names. I would like to dedicate my presentation to this fine couple, Gloria Rita and past Rotary International President Frank Devlin. They were very instrumental in, encouraging me to join the Rotary Action Group for Blindness Prevention, and also motivated me to become its chairman. The next slide, I would like to mention another friend who just recently passed away, past President Mark Harbison. Again, he was a big supporter of our Blindness Prevention Rotary Action Group and supported many grants in this blindness prevention area. I actually wanted to add another name, another figure, but unfortunately, I could not get the photograph in time. But again, Dr. Ravi Shankar mentioned his name, past President Gabriel Minder. He was again very instrumental in encouraging and supporting so many matching grants. We used to have matching grants earlier. So many matching grants in India, Pakistan, and a lot of other countries. So with this now, brief dedication, I'll just briefly mention about the significance of the World Sight Day. The World Sight Day, as we all know, that it is observed every year on the second Thursday of October. So it's not a fixed date, but it's basically the second Thursday of October every year. So which happens to be today. Our vision is a gift that must be cherished and protected. And as I have mentioned earlier, we are all blessed that we have our right vision and sight with us. So approximately about 1 billion people suffer from different type of visual problems globally. And the good thing is that most of these could be prevented or addressed through proper education and awareness. The next slide, please. The good thing is that 80% of the world's blindness is preventable. The sad part is that 90% of the world's visually impaired people live in developing countries. It is estimated that about 7 million people become blind every year. But again, the good thing is the treatment is available, and also as compared to other procedures, it is relatively very successful and cost effective. The next one. So causes of blindness. The leading causes of blindness are cataract, glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, and diabetic retinopathy. Other causes include trachoma and a few other diseases. So again, I will just keep like to stressing it that most of these are preventable and treatable if we can detect it at an early stage. So that is a good part that we can get out of it. So blindness, of course, has a significant impact on individuals, families, and societies. The visually impaired people often face social exclusion, reduced employment opportunities, and because of that, decreased quality of life. And it is an estimate that blindness also has economic consequences with estimated global productivity losses of more than $400 billion per year. The next slide. Prevention strategies are that includes, of course, vaccination for infectious diseases, early detection and treatment of eye diseases, and improved access to eye care services. It also helps to have a healthy lifestyle, such as balanced diet and regular exercise. The next one. Treatment options depend on the cause of the condition. The cataract is the most commonly available disease, and it is also one of the most, it is a disease which can, I think, most easily it can be cured. The cataract can be treated with surgery, while glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy can be managed with medication or laser therapy. Some diseases have no cure, but vision can be improved with low vision aids and rehabilitation. Next slide, please. Okay, now I'll just talk about the Blindness Prevention Rotary Action Group. And again, I'd like to thank the organizers for promoting and highlighting our RAG for blindness prevention. So our mission is to bring together those Rotarians and, of course, friends of Rotary who have an active interest in the prevention of blindness and the promotion of eye health and vision worldwide. It also provides a platform to discuss ideas and develop appropriate cooperative programs to further our shared goals. And of course, being a part of Rotary, another mission is to promote international goodwill, understanding, and peace through our common purposes and efforts. Next one. Before we became a Rotary Action Group, so earlier we had different names. Our group was identified as initially as Avoidable Blindness Task Force or Fellowship of Eye Care Professionals or Eye Care Fellowship and Rotarians. But now it has become a Rotary Action Group by the name of Blindness Prevention Rotary Action Group. All Rotarians, spouses, partners, and Rotaractors interested in preventing blindness and improving eye health are invited to become members of the Blindness Prevention Rotary Action Group. Next slide. This is a list of our officers and board members. I am the chairman. Past chairman PDG Ward is from the USA. Executive secretary and treasurer PP. Past president Harriet Schlor is also from the USA. Past district governor Gauri Rajan from Sri Lanka is one of our directors. And our earlier speaker, Rotarian Dr. K.V. Ravi Shankar from India is our technical officer as well as the director. Next one. So eligibility is all active Rotarians, spouses and partners and members of Rotary clubs can become members. And also membership, honorary membership can be provided to non-Rotarian eye care professionals on recommendation by the board of directors. In the next slide, we see the fee structure. In the past, we used to have a life membership also, but on recommendation from Rotary International. Now it has been removed. And now Rotarian spouses and partners can have an annual membership of $50, or they can have a discounted membership of $100 for 3 years. Similarly, Rotaractors can have an annual membership of $25 and a discounted membership of 3 years by paying only $50. Now I'll just show you some of the blindness prevention projects in different parts of the world, but primarily I focused on the South Asia or the region that we live in. So the first one is, next slide, please. Rotary Club of Lahore is the oldest club in Pakistan. It was started in 1927, before the independence. And they have started their signature project, which was started in February 2015. And so far they have supported, financed 546 cornea transplants in the LRBT hospital in Lahore. And this is a project that they have been doing every year. And the next one is from India, and this is a global grant, DG 223158 whereby it established diabetic and retinopathy vision and screening centers, and also provided the screening and the laser treatment wherever it was required. The next one is from Bangladesh. Next slide. And that is another global grant 2095828. Title of that project is, go back please. Title of that project is Gift of Sight project in Bangladesh. And in this, they provided cataract surgeries and also carried out screening camps. And next slide is from Pakistan, again, a global grant project whereby cataract surgeries were provided and screening camps were held, necessary medication was provided, and glasses were provided wherever required. Next slide is of my home club, Rotary Club of Lahore Garrison, where we recently, last month, we organized a health and eye camp in one of the school complex. And in the background, you can see Rotary Blindness Prevention Rotary Action Group logo is you can see on the background banner. So it was supported by our blindness prevention Rotary Action Group. So this was done in Lahore. Okay, now I'll just show you some of the activities of our Rotary, our blindness prevention Rotary Action Group. We set up stalls at the conventions to create awareness about the RAG, about the Rotary Action Group. And so this was taken in Toronto in 2018. And you can see my family, my wife, my two daughters, with our former chairman, Walt Schloor. Next one is from 2000, our Rotary International Convention in Sydney in 2014. To the left, you can see past Rotary International President Frank Devlin with some friends from one from Egypt and other from USA. And to the right, you can see photograph of our annual general meeting that was held during that time. Next slide is from our convention in 2012 that was held in Bangkok. So to the left, you can, in the photograph, you can see myself along with our friend, late past president, Mark Harbison. And to the right, we have a group photo of our board members after the board meeting. And then at last photograph, next slide is from the convention in New Orleans in 2011. Again, you can see past Rotary International President Frank Devlin with some Rotarians, some RAG members, some other friends, and then to the right is photograph after our board meeting. Next slide is where I will just like to take this opportunity to inform you that if you want to get more information about our blindness prevention Rotary Action Group, you can visit our website, RAG4BP.org. And we have just recently started a blindness prevention Rotary Action Group Facebook page. And I encourage and invite all of you to support us, go and visit the page, like it, so that, it will promote it more, and you will get a chance, get an opportunity to learn more about all the new activities. We will post all our new activities and projects on that Facebook page. I have also provided my email address and that of our executive secretary. So you can, if you want, you are most welcome to contact us through email or any other means, through social media also. And we'll be very happy to answer any of your questions that you have. And the last one is just a thank you slide, where I just like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. And in this photograph, you can see my grandson Mikhail Jalal, who is with me. And I always end my last slide with his photograph. He is our youngest for his fellow in our family, as well as in our Rotary Club of Orgasm. Thank you.
Thank you, PDG Shahzad Ahmed, for a wonderful presentation. And I really like the thank you note with your grandson in it. What a way to end the presentation. Thank you. I would like to request Rotarian Rakesh to facilitate the Q&A session.
Thank you, Gomti. So finally, guys, so we reached the end of the session, and the last part of the session is when you get an opportunity to ask questions about the presentations made previously now. And but the way we would conduct this is you write down your question on the chat platform, and I'll communicate that to the speaker that you are asking that to. So please do write the name of the speaker that you're addressing, and I'll have that communicated, and the speaker would get about a minute to give the response. So let's start. Well, the first one was a compliment to PDG Shehzad. Very interesting.
Rakesh, a question from Jafar Jamali.
Okay, I don't see that here. So
The Q&A section.
I mean, I don't see that here. So why don't you read the question?
I just read it out.
Yes, please go ahead.
Can any blind at any age can ask for test?
So I think this is an open question, so anybody could answer this. Any of the speakers. So Dr. Ravi, would you want to take this?
Ravi Shankar, if he's there, I think he'll be the right guy to answer. Actually, what type of tests? See, blind people require, in my opinion, if once they're said they're blind, they cannot see. I mean, the only thing is they can be trained, rehabilitated to do some work. So, is there any specific test they're asking, or otherwise, once they're certified as blind, I mean, especially in India, they have certain governmental support. Other than that, I think it's only like Rakesh was mentioning, we can look at some sort of program where we can help them to get trained in some areas where they can get employed.
Yeah, another thing that I would like to also add
Hello, sir.
is that, yes, Dr. Ravi, please
Can you
go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
See, whether it is a real blindness or legal blindness is the issue. Legal blindness may not be a really blind fully. So legally blind, the definitions may vary. In India, legal blindness is actually less than 3/60 or less than about 7% of vision in the best eye is legally blind in India. But real blindness is absence of light perception, means the either of the eye is unable to see any light, brightest light. That is a real blindness from professional point of view. Legal point of view, they are two different things. So if I'm sure your question would be to know when person is really blind, how to help it. Is that right?
It says any blind at any age can ask for test. That was the question. Can any blind at any age can ask for test?
See, the test means, an ophthalmologist has to see, once you declare as blind, I would presume that all the avenues for treatment has been exhausted. Then only, we say that it is, blind. Is all the treatment avenues should be exhausted. So means all the tests needed would have been done by the professionals concerned. So I can't pinpoint one test because blindness can be due to glaucoma, blindness can be due to retinal detachment, blindness can be due to several other things. So optic nerve disease. So I cannot pinpoint one test here. All the avenues would be exhausted, treatment avenues, before you declare somebody as a blind person.
Okay.
So there is
Thank you very much.
the other ways of rehabilitating, those are, how to help with the braille, how to help with the cane. Those are the societal issues.
Okay. So the next question is from Rotarian Shankar, the chair RAG for 3192. So, role of AI in retina screening in the future of healthcare, and how will it play a role in the Rotary for Avoidable Blindness program? This is an open question again, so any three of you, anyone from the group of three can speak about it.
I think doctor will be the right person, but my understanding
I just like to add the context here that the recent developments in artificial intelligence has been able to detect Parkinson's, heart disease, and close to around 172, ailments can be detected through eye care. So now that the retinal screening and eye care can actually detect, so many aspects, I think, this Rotary Avoidable Blindness group and the team will have a much larger role to play. So I wanted if there was any experts who could throw some light on these aspects.
See, sir, this that is a for example, this there are two different things. One is when retinals, by doing the retinal screening for tens of thousands of retinal images are loaded into the computer and using artificial intelligence, when all other parameters, for example, 50 variables for individuals have been loaded in, it is picking up so many things like the girth of the blood vessels, to the possibilities of heart attack, and also sometimes what you may not be able to see with simple ophthalmoscopes and other things, with matching, it is able to predict at least 95% with certainty which case may require further treatment. This kind of guidance it may give. It is not it is only suggestion. Artificial intelligence, what gives the clinician is a suggestion. Here, we are talking about in a context of blindness. In a person whom we have, for example, diabetic screening has been done on 10,000 people. In the 10,000, how many people require a referral with accuracy? At least with 95% accuracy. There are devices now where if you have those cameras where in which it is artificial intelligence enabled, to an extent 95% accurately it can say, okay, this image need not refer. This image, this patient requires reference. So it is accurate up to 95% as of now.
The whole idea is, I think, the workload on the ophthalmologists can come down, so they can address like surgeries and other things. See, with the AI, as the doctor was mentioning, the vision technicians who are trained, the AI helps them to detect the problem and refer them to the doctor. So the diagnostic time and efforts by the doctor can be shared or reduced. I think that is how
number two,
help.
Number two is you can reach the unreached because these cameras don't require much expert to handle it. Anybody can handle it with 1 day's training. Anybody can handle it. That being the case, if people are willing, you can go deep into interiors of the country and pick up the cases.
This is a project. What we are doing now is the vision screening centers and then teleophthalmology centers, mobile screening centers. See, more or less in the last 2 years, we are all moving towards that. But the other one is more of a research interest and how closely we can diagnose the problem concerning heart or kidney. It's all more academic thing which are being published.
More of academic at this stage.
Yeah, rather than that, we are now focusing on, other than cataract and school programs, on screening for glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy. I think we are moving now, but the costly equipments are there. Can we raise funds through grants or CSR support? We are moving. Then we must have very understanding hospital partners or ophthalmologists to work with us, because we have to also measure the impact of what the donations which are given, how far it has been creating the impact in the community, is also to be reported to the corporate or to the donors. So all these are going to be, it's not just a Rotary project of donating some equipments. So it involves quite a bit of things. Being a researcher, I know now I am working on a research of having established 8 centers. What is the impact? So then only we can go to corporate for getting subsidy for the treatment. So all this will call for a lot of work. I think it's all beginning now. Maybe the next level, next stage of Rotarians. That is why this RAG will help in forming the expert group, guide the clubs, raise the funds. It can happen, provided how serious we are and how much we want to extend ourselves.
Okay, perfect, doctors. We have 2 more questions, and I would request you to just take not more than a minute, please, for the to be sensible about the time. So, what are the preventive measures to prevent blindness? Is blindness more impacted and is passed through genes? So again, this would be a medical question. So,
Yeah.
doctor, you have 1
Sir,
minute to answer.
see, there are several diseases which can come through genes. And there are several which are for example, lifestyle diseases affecting the vision also. The ones examples of genetic disorders I can tell you is, for example, primary open angle glaucoma. They say it's a type of predominantly, majority of the glaucomas, primary open angle glaucoma. This can come genetically, but not to every person. So if there are 4 children, it can come to 1 or 2. So it can come genetically. Like, for example, even diabetes. Diabetes can come genetically, but diabetic retinopathy will not come genetically. So that point has to be noted. Once somebody has diabetes, a poor control of diabetes for 7 to 8 years, that leads to diabetic retinopathy. That is with the lifestyle of that given individual. So likewise, there are several diseases. For example, we were talking about Ravi Kumar also presented 2 children with cataract. So majority of the children, it is, in cataract, good majority is genetic. So many times when we are operating children, we see that mother or father has got a cataract or the history of surgery. When we see this cataract would have been operated. And marriage in close relatives. Several diseases you get by marrying in close relatives in several systems of the body, including eyes. I give you simple for examples. Even the deadly tumor, retinoblastoma, there is a strong genetic linkage there too. So in several diseases, pediatrics, several diseases, even squints can come in the families. So genetic counseling does have a role, especially in severe malignant diseases like retinoblastoma. If the first child has a retinoblastoma or a tumor, whether the parents should go ahead and what are the percentage of chances that they may get second child with the same issue are real. So that requires a real expert in the genetic field. There are several tests for that to find out it's not a simple arithmetic to talk about probabilities. I hope I have answered your question, sir. There are very many examples. Just I have took few. Hello.
Rakesh, you're on mute. Rotarian
Okay,
Rakesh.
thank you. Yeah, so the last question would be to PDG Shehzad Ahmed. So it's asked by Qasir Iqbal, RCL. So here it goes. I believe the role of blindness prevention is equally important as the treatment is. Is RAG4BP doing awareness programs in susceptible segments of the society to prevent this disease?
Okay, I think it's the role of all the Rotary Action groups to provide support to the clubs and the districts, and that includes providing technical support, awareness, and all kind of things. So as far as our RAG is concerned, blindness prevention, so yes, so we also believe in doing the same thing. So as I have given some examples in my presentation, that there are some global grants which are being done by different Rotary clubs, and many RAG members are already involved in it. And similarly, there are awareness campaigns also. For example, recently the health camp that we organized. So we also had an awareness. It included primarily, it was organized on the request from the school management, that they said that they wanted to have the eyesights of all the children checked. And so then we decided that instead of having just the eye camp, we can have the health camp. So we included others also. And in that, in fact, in all the health camps, we have an awareness session for the participants, and participants are primarily mothers. And so awareness sessions are held at all these camps. And of course, then we have the messages also that we pass on to different to our mailing lists, providing some technical support, and as well as sometimes some awareness campaigns. Thank you.
Unmute yourself, Rotarian Rakesh.
I'm very sorry. So thank you very much, PDG Shehzad Ahmed. Thank you for the questions to all the other participants. Very interesting questions they were. And now for the last segment, I pass it on to Shankar Subramanian to close the session and give his vote of thanks.
Good evening, friends, and good morning, of course, to people who are not in our time zone. I take this opportunity to thank our anchors, Rotarian Tejaswini and Rotarian Rakesh, for anchoring this event wonderfully. I would also like to thank Rotarian Gomati for holding the whole act together. Gives me great pleasure to thank Dr. M.V. Ramikumar, who's been a pioneer in the area of eye care, and we all look forward to him to be our role model to take the area of avoidable blindness and any advice we require. I have a fond connect with Dr. K.V. Ravi Shankar because I remember I went to Masnagudi and something had gotten into my eye, and I had to cut short my holiday, and my wife Usha rushed me to Dr. Ravi Shankar, and within a fraction of a 30 seconds or 60 seconds, he removed the irritant out of me, and I really understood the whole importance of having a doctor. And we could not find any doctor anywhere near there who could actually take just to remove irritant from the eye. I had to travel around 90 kilometers to reach Dr. Ravi Shankar. So fondly remember his support and remember that day. I also would like to thank PDG Shehzad Ahmed. I understand, because I'm also the chair of the Rotary Action Group for Multiple Sclerosis. It is not an easy job. It is a very RAG itself is a new concept in Rotary, and many times clubs and districts feel it's an interference, that they're already doing certain things. What is this RAG fellows again doing something different? And we still have to create a lot of awareness about the Rotary Action Group. And I'm really happy that 3191, districts 3191 and 3192 have gotten together to actually create awareness about different RAGs. And I really appreciate the work that is done by PTG Shehzad Ahmed all over the world. And also, if I would fail in my duty, to thank all the ophthalmologists and optometrists without whom all these projects and assignments will not happen. And I hope that you can inspire more people to take up in the medicine field, to take up this area of work, so that we can do more service in the world. And I'd like to also thank all the clubs who have been present here and have supported our event, because without the Rotary Club presidents and their support, we could not have done anything much. And I request all the Rotary clubs to participate in all our future events also with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm, and be able to spread awareness about the various Rotary Action Groups and the wonderful work that they are doing. So thank you very much and have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
And a sincere thanks to all the Rotarian International Directors, Rotarian Vachan, Rotarian Sunil Terkar for all the support.
Yes.
Sorry that I forgot to mention you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Good
Thank
night.
you, Rakesh. Thank you. Thank you, Gomati.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Great program.
Thank
Have a
you,
good night.
Carl. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
everyone.
certainly welcome. Great job, Gomati.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Just waiting for everybody to
Bye.
just didn't want
Thank
to
you.
end the session. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. It was a nice program. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. See you all in the next webinar.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
we will. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night. Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a huge from Peru.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. I think we can end the session now. Or should we? Should I end the session or just wait for them
Yes.
to do? Okay, I'll end the session.
Okay.
Bye.
Right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.